What is good? What is happening? What is up, everyone? It's your girl Woobie. I know you guys have been waiting for another story time. In my previous video, I did say that I was going to make a video once a week, but you know, I honestly, if the feeling comes that I'll make another video. And honestly, because like you guys, if you watch the other video, then you know that I'm in school. And so like because it's December, I'm not doing any school right now, so if I have the opportunity to do a story time, then I definitely will. I will try to be more consistent, post videos often, and yeah. And honestly, because it's December, like it's almost Christmas, I decided to wear red. Okay, very cozy material because it is cold outside. It is winter. Y'all know how Canadian weather is these days. So yeah, and because it's also December, I'm also going to share a Christmas themed story time. And my God, when I think about this story, I always cringe. Like, I told my family members about this, and I don't think I told my friends about this story yet though, but like, yeah, this story is just, it's so freaking weird. Like, why did I do that? Okay, anyways, let's just get right into the video, the story. So this story happened when I was, I don't remember how old I was, but I was in elementary at the time. And if you guys were like, if you were in Canada, I don't know if it's like the same thing in like other provinces in Canada, but in Alberta we have this thing, it's called ICAC, and so it stands for Igbo Cultural Association of Calgary. And yeah, so I'm obviously inevitably gonna be from Calgary, and we were very active in like participating in the ICAC, like in terms of events and like I think fundraisers too. And my parents used to be, like I was like really young at that time, and my parents used to be like very involved. We're not so involved as we were before, but you know, like we still know about it, we still know of it. So honestly, like this story is like, the way that I'm gonna say the story, it's like, it will sound like it was so long, but like it took like 5 seconds for this, maybe not 5 seconds, but like oh my God, sorry, I was just thinking about like the main event that happened. Anyways, I'll tell you. Okay, so what happened was we were hosting an event. This is like going off of my own memory too. If I'm wrong, y'all don't get mad at me if like the specific details on like what specific event was going on. Don't get mad at me if I get it wrong. But I don't remember if it was like a Christmas party, but it was cold. And so what it was like the ICAC was hosting this like community event for like members or something. So I think my parents were members at that time, and of course you have to like bring your kids there, and you couldn't leave your kids at home. Like we were really little, so we had this another portion in the hall. So the event took place in a hall, and there were like chairs, and then in front of the chairs, it wasn't like a stage, it was more just like it was kind of, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna say that it's a gym. So picture a gym, and then picture the gym filled with chairs. Okay, and you know how it's like, how sometimes in gymnasiums there's like a stage, where like the host or like whoever is talking is on the stage. So picture that, but it's gone. Okay, so there's no stage, and there's chairs, like a bunch of like chairs, and with people, Nigerians, Igbos specifically. I don't know if other Nigerians were there, but it is hosted for Igbo people. So black people were there, and then in front was a microphone, and then like speakers, and then like a DJ or somebody who's like a speaker tech, so who takes care of the technology. I know you guys heard that. I am so sorry that you had to hear the fire trucks. I don't know if you guys know, but we live very close to a what's it called, a fire station. So if y'all hear fire trucks while I say this story, I am so sorry. I didn't even realize in my previous video there was like a car that drove right past my house, and it like made this loud ass sound. And sorry, I shouldn't be saying bad words. Loud sound. and I'm still trying to figure out how to edit that out. And if I can't edit that out, then y'all, it's fine. Like, it's okay. Apologies though. Future apologies for future videos. If you guys hear cars driving by, if you hear fire trucks, just know that we live close to very loud things. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so where was I? So there is so there's a microphone, and then there's a speaker guy like kind of to the left of the microphone. No stage, okay? Just like chairs and then microphone. Okay, so now that I've established the environment, how does this really pertain to me, right? So this is like a really, like, what I did was extremely stupid. I don't know why I didn't think like I would be embarrassing myself if I did this, but so okay, but I did it anyway. And you know, in any kind of Nigerian event, there has to be food. There has to be at least jollof rice and fufu and like stew and like soup, okay? There's always going to be food. At some point, we're all gonna be able to go and eat. Even if it's like just like a meetup or whatever. Even if it's just puff puff or moi moi or something small chops. Y'all, I know you guys can hear that. But if you don't hear that, there's like some fire trucks passing my house right now. Apologies. Anyways, so my parents, right? My parents and the rest of the audience was sitting on their chairs, okay? And there was a speaker. She was a woman, so she was a speaker. She was talking. I had no idea what they were talking about, because as soon as we got to the event, my dad and my parents just put us in this separate room where all the kids can hang out and like eat. Not even eat, just like hang out while the meeting is going on, while the event is going on. And so yeah, a few hours went by, and it came to the point where we got to go and eat some food, right? So I, of course, being the person that I am, I love food. We all wait our turn. Like, I don't just bust out the room and just run to the food, right? We wait for them to call on the kids to come and get their food. And I believe the kids were the first people. Sorry, I'm remembering. Anyways, I believe that the first people were the kids to get their food. So, they opened the door where the gym is. Okay, so I want you guys to picture, like, okay, like in the gym, there's like this other room. It's kind of like in an, you know, like if you're in high school or university, in the exam room, which is like typically a gymnasium, a big gym, there's like washrooms where you can like change rooms where you can go use the washroom during your exam. And then yeah, so that it's kind of like that. Like there's like a side room. It's not a washroom, okay? Like that would be child abuse, okay? Like you can't put your kids in a washroom. But the room that we were in was kind of like a side room from the main hall. Okay. So they opened the door, they opened the side door where we were, and they called on us to like stand in a single file line, and then what did they do? Oh yeah, so then bro, I've been saying they the whole time. Anyways, one person, like a main leader, would like tell us to line up and then go get our food. So when we went to go get our food, of course each of us took one plate at a time. We took our plate, we took our rice, and we took any food that we wanted, and we went back. And this was before the adults got their food. So now we're back. So we go back and we go to our room, and where we are, and we're eating, we're having fun, we're just talking, we're having fun. And then the door closes and the adults go to go get their food as well. So all the I'm sorry. all the adults get up to go get their food. And as they're getting their food, they're like, you know, regular, taking their spoon, eating, like the dishers or whatever would take their spoon and then put like a spoonful of rice and put it on their plate. So as they were doing that, I've already finished my food. Okay, I am done and I want seconds. I wanted more. So I leave the room, no supervision. Like usually there's supposed to be at least one adult in the children's room looking after these kids, and there probably was, but I guess they weren't doing their job correctly, because I was able to leave the room more than once. Like leave the room, stay in one room, and then like stay in the room and then come out to see all the adults again. Like I had that freedom to do that, and yeah, like that shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. But so yeah, so the adults were like getting their food, and including my parents and my mom and my dad, they were in the line, and I've already finished my food, and so I just exited the room with my plate. And instead of me to go line up in the back, I was like, you know, hey, I know these two people, I know them. And of course they were my parents. So I go to my parents and they were just like, and thankfully my mom was like very graceful about it. Like I shouldn't be outside, I should be in the room with the kids, because no kids are supposed to be in the hall during that moment. So I leave the room. Yeah, so I'm like I'm with my mom now, and my mom is just like, oh, do you want more? Do you want more? And I'm just like, yeah, I want more. And I look up at my dad, and my God, I don't know, like, let me just give you guys a little bit of like a description of my dad. Like my dad, if you look at his face, you will know that he's angry. So when I look up at my dad, I see that he's angry. Like he didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to say like, oh, Chikube, you shouldn't be. He was straight up like like the characteristics of his face changes to a way that kind of explains his anger. So obvious, like, and like it's a rule, like you would get in trouble if your kids are like constantly going back and forth or like playing around in the hall. Like you're supposed to have your kids in the room. And also, but it wasn't really my dad's fault, of course, because like the person who is supposed to look after us wasn't looking after us correctly. That's what I believe anyway. But yeah, my dad was like a little bit crossed. He was a little bit frustrated. Like, why is Chikube outside? She's supposed to be inside the room right now, eating her food, waiting for her turn to get food. And she's already eaten as well. But yeah, that's what I thought he was saying in his head. I don't know if he was just like, I don't know. But my mom was very happy to see. My mom was very graceful. She took it very lightly, and she took my plate and she put more rice. She allowed the person serving rice to put more rice on my plate. And then I ran back to my room like a little kid, of course, because I was a little kid. I don't remember what. Okay, you know what? I think I was in grade 3. Yeah, maybe grade 3 or grade 2. No, I'm gonna say grade 3, yeah, because grade 2, grade 2 me would probably be a little more crazy. Anyways, yeah. So my mom gave me my rice and I went back and I had seconds and I was eating the rice so happily, so joyfully. Like the rice was bussin'. It was so good. And so yeah, so I'm back in my room now, and well, not my room, like the room where the kids are supposed to be. And mind you, like there's like a lot of kids there. And they're all playing with each other too. And my sister was there as well too. And but for some reason I was mostly just focused on the food. Like I like once, bro, I was just on the food. Nothing else mattered, because when it was time for food, that's literally the majority of the time I spent there was the food. That's literally the amount of time that I spent there. And I will explain more when I get to the part that cringes the hell out of me. So, okay, now, of course, like, so the adults are getting their food, and they get their food, they sit down, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's happening outside of that. All I knew is that they got their food. I don't know what the people are talking about. I don't know what the audience is like talking about. I don't know what's happening. All I know is what's happening inside the room where the kids are. And yeah, of course I was the only one that was eating at that time, because everybody has already eaten their food, and I'm still looking for more. And bro, I am like, for some reason I wasn't ashamed of that. Like the food was, I didn't even have like seconds. I had what, like 5 times. Like, what's the word for 5 times? I don't even know, but I had a lot. And it didn't, like, okay, it wasn't like, it was so bad because like, okay, this is where it cringes me, because the way I would go and get more food is what was completely inappropriate and looked bad on my parents. So I don't know what was happening outside my room, and that is why I thought it would be okay to just exit the room where the kids are and then go get more food. So when I wanted to go get more food again, so this is my 3rd time leaving the room. So the 2nd time was when the adults were getting their own food, and my mom was there. She was getting my food for me. And so I go back to my room. And then I finish my food, and then I leave my room again. And this time everybody's sitting down. Okay, you see where I'm getting at, right? And instead of me to like go around the audience, because the hall that we were in wasn't even that big and there wasn't even a lot of chairs, so it would have been very, very, very easy for me to just leave my room and go behind the audience. But I think it was because my parents were sitting in the front is why I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go right in front so that my parents can see me, and maybe I can look at my parents and like wave at them or something. Yeah, that's so embarrassing. Imagine like you are a parent and like you're in a very important meeting right now, and your kid who is supposed to be inside the room comes out, and then they're in front of the speaker too. Like, I'm between the speaker and my parents, because my parents are obviously in the audience, and then what's her name? The speaker is like on the other side. So I'm like right between them trying to go get food. Like, I'm basically on the stage. I'm basically on the stage. Instead of me to go behind the audience, I go in front of them. And I think it's because I know my parents and I want to see my parents. And so with my plate, oh Lord have mercy. With my plate, I go like across the stage, like right past the audience and past the speaker, and then I take my plate, I scoop more jollof rice on my plate, and then scoop like maybe one more piece of meat, and then this is so bad, oh my god. And then so I take my plate and I'm heading back, not even caring if anybody is looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, bro, you should be behind us. Like, you shouldn't you're a little kid walking amongst adults. Like, you're basically not even showing any respect. And I know some of you might be like, oh, it's okay, like, you're just a little kid, it's not a big deal. But girl, if you are Nigerian, you should, like, you probably understand how disrespectful it is to, like, basically I'm basically interrupting them. Like, I'm not even like I'm not talking to them or anything, but it's still a distraction, and I don't realize that. And I know it's because, like, I'm a kid or whatever, but, like, I should have probably known better, you know, like, because I think it was like a few years after, like, I was in grade 3 or something, and maybe like grade 5, grade 6 is when I realized how bad that was, because like, so like that, because like I should have known better, you know, like it didn't take me too long for me to realize that it was bad for me to walk in front of a large audience like that. And it's not even about stage fright. Let me tell you guys, I do have stage fright. I do get nervous when I talk in front of people, but like at that moment, it wasn't even about, like, when I realized how bad it was for me to do that, it wasn't even about me being like embarrassed for myself. It was more just like I showed no respect to my elders, you know. And yeah, so I took my plate and I turned back to where I walked before, so right between the audience and the speaker herself. And oh my god, instead of me to just walk, okay, this is my plate, instead of me to just walk back to my room, I'm like taking my spoon and I'm just like I'm basically, and I was spilling rice on the floor too. I didn't even know I was spilling rice until like later, because I did this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I didn't even think that it would be a bad thing to do. Like, when I think about it now, I'm just like, why? Like, this is why. Sometimes I'm like, I probably shouldn't show my face anymore, because like I already caused a horrible reputation on not only myself but my family too. Like, come on, so disrespectful. Like, I could have at least scooped the rice and go behind the audience. Instead, I went back to the front. And nobody stopped me for some reason until, okay, this is what made me oh my god. Okay, so like the 3rd time or like the 4th time, I was going so, oh my god, this is so bad. What I did was so disgusting. Anyways, so instead of me to go back to the room, so let's say I think it was like my 3rd or 4th time leaving my room, going to get more jollof rice, and then turning back and walking in front of the audience. So as I'm going back to my room, back to the room with the kids, with the plate of jollof rice, I'm eating the rice, right? I'm eating the rice, and I look over and I'm like I really wanted to see my parents. Like, I'm like, I know these people, I want to like I want them to acknowledge me at least. So, oh lord, I totally understand why my dad did this. Anyways, so I'm going back to my room with my jollof rice and I'm eating my rice. Ooh. And like, okay, so what's her name? So the speaker was like behind me, and my parents were in front of me. So I'm heading back to my room, I'm eating my jollof rice, and I look over to my parents, and instead of my parents to like have a neutral face, my mom had a neutral face, but my dad my dad was so livid. Like, you could literally see it in his face that he was so frustrated. He was frustrated at what I was doing, and I didn't know. And instead of me to like continue walking, when I saw my when I saw my dad make that face, I was like, I stopped. I stopped in my tracks, and the food, like the spoonful of jollof rice was like this. What can I use to like, okay. So this is the plate, this is the spoon, and I'm walking, right? And the speaker's like right behind me, and my parents are like in the front of me. And I'm like going back to the room, right in front of everyone, basically in front of the whole audience. So I look at my mom and I look at my dad, and he's like so angry. Like, you can see, like, okay, like, I can't describe the way he looks, but like, I just know that he looks so angry. Of course, everybody has that face that can tell that you're angry. Anyways, so instead of me to like put the spoon down, at least I stop in my tracks, and the rice is like this, and I'm just like, and I'm like looking at my dad like, why did I do that? Please explain why. Why did I stop? Like, and the speaker was speaking, like she was still talking, and I didn't acknowledge that. I didn't realize that what I was doing was disrespectful. I completely understand my dad's reaction now. I would have probably done worse. Like, my dad was so mad at how I was like continuously leaving the room and like going back to what's it called? Going back to the rice food in the main hall thing. So yeah, I definitely understand why he would give me that face. So yeah, so I realized that he's angry. I stop him in the middle of my tracks, and the food is like on my face. Like, I'm not even like neutral, like looking at him, like I'm just like, what the, like, why? Like, you look so bad right now, come on, why? So let me think. Oh yeah, so I eat the rice anyway. So after I finish looking at him, whatever, I just put the rice in my mouth and I eat it slowly, and then I continue going. And this is when I realized that what I was doing was bad, because when I stopped in my tracks and I looked at my dad, I ate the rice, and then I did a little glance on the entire audience, and the entire audience was looking at me. I was like, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. Of course you did everything wrong, Chikube. Like, come on. Bro. And so yeah, so I always lose track because I'm literally thinking about this, like the story's playing in my head right now. And so yeah, so I go back into my room anyway, and like, I'm still not embarrassed. It's just that I look to the audience and I'm just like, whoa, why is everyone looking at me? And you know that feeling in your gut that you're just like, oh my gosh, like something is happening that shouldn't be happening, but I can't figure out why. Like, why is everyone looking at me like I did something bad, like I just committed a murder, like why? But I was confused, but I went back into my room anyway. And so the way that they were able to solve the problem for me to stop exiting the room, they brought the pot of jollof rice. They literally brought the pot of jollof rice into the room. Like, they stopped the meeting, they stopped everything that they were doing and had two people push the trolley with jollof rice into the room so that I can stop leaving the room. And so they didn't have a lock on the door either. So what they did was they used the trolley. So they took the pot, they put the pot in the room, but they used the trolley to hold the door, so that if I ever wanted to exit the room again, they would have to hear the trolley make a sound, or like I would have to push the trolley, and somebody would have to, like, I don't know, restrain me or something. I don't know why I thought that wasn't bad at the moment that it was happening. But yeah, this was during Christmas. Had nothing to do with Christmas, honestly, but because this happened around December, and like talking about Christmas events, yeah, I decided to just share this story. I think I have another crazy story time during Christmas as well. I'll definitely share it with you guys later on. Not later on, of course. I'm gonna like do it very soon. I felt really like I really actually wanted to share a story the same week I posted that other video. So I'm definitely not gonna wait anymore, because yeah, like if you watched my other video, you would hear me say like, I'm probably gonna post once a week. Girl, you have all this time, like just post a video every day if you want to. If you can, post a video every day. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna post, like, maybe not every day, but like, you know, like it's just gonna be like very frequent. So yeah, that is the story of me completely embarrassing myself and making my entire family look bad. I have no idea what I'm gonna title this video. Okay, like, okay, yesterday when I was like thinking about the video that I'm gonna post out, I did not even think about, oh, Christmas theme, oh, wear red or whatever. No, it was like literally today when I'm like making the video, as I'm making the video, I'm just like, you know what, let me just change up the story. And luckily this story is like still fresh in my mind. I don't think this story is gonna ever leave me, because it is like a turning point to what kind of person I was. Like I used to be so, like, of course, like if the video, like the story kind of describes my innocence. And then after me realizing that what I was doing was bad, it kind of changed the way I see things. So that is definitely going to stay with me forever. And that's why I decided to share it with you guys. I just think it's like just very crazy. Why did I always question, why did I think it was okay to walk in front of the entire audience? Girl, you have stage fright. You're afraid to perform. You're afraid to do presentations in front of people. Like, why did you think it was okay to just like walk in front of everybody and collect jollof rice, 5 scoops of jollof rice, like more than 5 times? Like, bro, why? Yeah, but thank you guys so much. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for listening to this video. I will surely post more if you guys found this story very interesting. And of course, you guys probably hear those fire trucks again. It's probably because it's Christmas. A lot of people be going crazy during this time of the year. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely go ahead and share, and share the video if you think it was entertaining. And also, if you had a similar situation like this, I would love to hear it in the comments. Like, I would love to read your story, because then it would make me feel like I'm not crazy. Or like, not even like a story of you being like a weird child or something, just like something that happened recently that you didn't realize was a bad thing, but later on you realize like, okay, this shouldn't have happened. I should have done it in a different way, or did it in a way that would make sense. So yeah, like I love reading stories on in the comments, like not even just on YouTube, like Instagram, TikTok, and like other platforms. So definitely go ahead and share your story. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I shouldn't say Merry Christmas yet, but yeah, Happy holidays. But